Hey guys and girls, how's it going? Hope you guys are having a great week. So I'm back today with another What Do We Know So Far video. Now this one is going to be on Far Cry Primal. Now Far Cry Primal has been developed by Ubisoft Montreal in collaboration with Ubisoft Toronto. It is due for release very soon on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's coming out on the 23rd of February. And for those of you on PC, sadly you'll have to wait a little bit longer until the 1st of March. Now, it is not a direct sequel to Far Cry 4. In fact, it's not even really a standalone franchise. For example, say Far Cry Blood Dragon, which was a standalone game sort of connected to Far Cry 3, in between Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. Now that was almost like a DLC in that it was only about $15. It was a really cool game. If you haven't played it, definitely have a go at it. It's really cool. It's set like in 1980s style. It's very cool. But Far Cry Primal is its own game in its own right. It's a full game, and the developers have said it's going to be as big as Far Cry 3 and 4, which is going to be huge if that is the case. Now, most likely it will be selling at full price. So if you're in America, it's probably going to be $50 or $60. In the UK, 40 or £50. Now, Far Cry Primal is unique, very different to the previous franchises. It's the first game to be set in the Stone Age. Specifically during the Mesolithic period, roughly around 10,000 BC, so about 12,000 years ago. Now, the main character that you play as a guy called Takar. Now, Takar is a hunter, and at the start of the game, your village is attacked by a rival tribe, and pretty much everybody is killed. Takar soon finds himself stranded and alone and unarmed in the area of Aros. It's effectively a survivalist action-adventure game. That is the main theme throughout the story. Now, obviously, at the beginning of the game, this is the Stone Age, so man at this time was really at the bottom of the food chain. Everything was a threat, particularly wild predators and also enemy tribes. So during the game, you are trying to survive, to basically go from being at the bottom of the food chain to the top. Also, as well, Takar's main goal or main mission is to look for his lost people, the Wenja, and to as you play through the game and you explore Aros, you will find different members of his tribe, and you'll kind of take them in and basically rebuild your tribe again, and protect and lead them, and ultimately you'll have to protect them against sort of wild predators as well as rival tribes. Now, there are two main tribes that we know of in this world, and those are the Udam and the Izila. I think I said that right. Now, the Udam appear to be stronger warriors, more of a hunting party, and the Izila are basically sort of more developed, more advanced. They look really cool. Now, it is obviously an open world, like previous Far Cry games. I would assume that once the main part of the story kicks off, effectively you're free to explore whatever you want and just go wild, do whatever you want in the world. Now, one of the biggest challenges and changes to this game, obviously because it's set in the Stone Age, is it is going to have a massive impact on the gameplay mechanics. Now, previous Far Cry games have always sort of focused predominantly on the first-person shooter element, so guns and weapons, explosions, and also vehicles. Vehicle exploration, vehicle combat, that's always been a massive part of Far Cry. Now, obviously, because we're set in the Stone Age, that is no longer going to be in the game, and instead of a more sort of ranged ability to attack, it is focusing a lot more on melee combat. So the key weapons of choice that Takar is going to use, he's going to be able to use things like spears, clubs, axes, and obviously the short-range bow and arrow. As a result of this, there'll be a lot more focus on stealth and survival, obviously because of the backdrop and the setting, and also you won't be able to buy new weapons. So there is a massive emphasis on crafting and hunting as well. So you'll have to hunt, wild animals in-game in the world, and then obviously you will use these use the meat, the bone, the fur, the sinew to actually craft your own weapons and also to develop the weapons that you do have as well. As part of the game as well, Takar will have to learn how to create fire, and this will be a massive part of his survivability. There will be very much a day-night cycle, and this obviously will affect the way that tribes interact with him as well as animals. So certain animals will come out at the night that are more likely to hunt and to prowl. And obviously having fire at nighttime is crucially important to protecting yourself and also your village. A large part of this game as well is the ability to tame animals. So Takar is known as the Beast Master, and this means that he somehow miraculously has an ability to tame the wild predators in the world that you will use as allies in surviving and taking control of an area. Now you can tame a wide array of animals, anything from prehistoric badgers, dire wolves to saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths. There's a massive array of animals that you can freely switch between, and to tame them is very easy from the looks of it, although it probably will be trickier with certain animals than others. But to tame an animal, you have to throw out food, which is like bait. As they're eating it, you have to sort of crouch, slowly approach their position, no doubt downwind, and then you have to hold down the tame button, and then Takar will tame them, and once they're tamed, they fully become part of your party, and you can give them commands and use them in various ways. Now, different animals have different characteristics. For example, the wolf will growl to alert you of nearby enemies, whereas the jaguar can be used much more for stealth. So when Takar goes into a stealth position, the jaguar will also sort of creep and stealth as well and will be completely undetectable, and you can use him for stealth kills when you're trying to take out an area. Now obviously this is Far Cry, so outposts are going to be back. You're going to have to take out outposts and take control of them. And obviously, stealth will be a big part of that. If you're wanting to go in as well and just attack, you can tame I think it was called a cave bear or something like that. And that basically is your tank that can go in. And of course, the saber-toothed tiger is incredibly powerful as well. Now, these animals, you can be used for combat, for stealth, for hunting, as well as for riding. So to replace vehicles, you will be able to ride a woolly mammoth. We have seen that, and also they can be used as a weapon while riding them as well, and they can attack anybody in the area or nearby tribes. Now, another animal that you can take control of as well is the owl. And when this will basically give you an aerial top-down tactical view, and that will allow you to recon an area, to tag enemies, to scout outposts. You can also give instructions and orders to your beast from your owl using the hunter vision. And of course, you can also take out enemies from above as well, and the owl will, which is massive, will swoop in and take them down. So they very much do encourage you to use the owl when taking, scouting outposts and taking those out. So that is basically everything that we know on Far Cry Primal in terms of the story and the gameplay. Now, it looks like an interesting game. I am a fan of the Far Cry series. I did play Far Cry 4 and I did really enjoy it. I am interested to see how the backdrop of the Stone Age is going to play into it and how that's going to change the gameplay style. I like the animals that you can tame. They look cool. I love the idea of having my own saber-toothed tiger and being able to pet it and give instructions to it, though I have to say that some of the animals, especially the saber-toothed tiger, seems OP, and I could see myself very much just sticking with it and not really using many of the other animals at my disposal. But that looks cool. The only thing I would say that looks a little disappointing to me is the melee combat. It looks a little clunky to me at the moment, particularly when attacking with the spear. I like the idea of being able to throw the spear and also being able to use your bow and arrow, which can be upgraded into like 2 arrows or fire arrows and that kind of thing. but it does look a bit clunky, the melee. So I'm a little concerned about how interesting that is, and if it will remain interesting, or if you're going to get bored with that very, very easily. As well, it also seems a little bit too soon for another Far Cry game. Again, I think it's Ubisoft doing what they have done with Assassin's Creed, which they're trying to bring out a new Far Cry game every year. I don't really think that's necessary. But either way, Far Cry Primal, it looks interesting. I don't know whether I'm going to get it on the day of release. I'm not sure yet. I guess I will have to see more gameplay, see what reviews are saying, see what people are saying. I will be getting it eventually and probably playing and having a go at it, because I do love that era. I like the idea of being in the Stone Age and the prehistoric animals. I think that'll be really, really awesome and really interesting. And I am interested in the story and in the language as well of the world, which is obviously very new and very different. So there aren't many games which are set in the Stone Age, so I am very much interested in having a go at it. But anyway, that is everything that we know about Far Cry Primal so far. Let me know what you guys think of this game. Will you be buying this game on day one? What do you think about it? Is it too soon after Far Cry 4? What do you think about the gameplay that we've seen? Let me know in the comment section below. Please like if you enjoyed this video as well. And if you liked what you saw, please subscribe for more. Alright guys and girls, well take care, and as always, happy gaming. Yeah.